Hello, my lovely people, my lovely spirit family. How are you? This is Kamara, and I'm with Rooted Futures. Great to see you. I haven't done many YouTube videos, readings. I've been doing a lot of things, channeling messages on TikTok. So if you haven't joined me on TikTok, join me on TikTok, Rooted Futures. Be careful, there's a few fake accounts out there, but at least they all have my image on them. So I don't know if that's like, I should be flattered with that or not. So this particular reading, we're getting ready to head into summer solstice season. I believe that's happening on the 21st. Is that tomorrow? I've got to check my calendar to make sure. But I wanted to do a reading. Spirit's been calling me to do more readings. And so, you know, I have to like get into my setup and everything like that. And yeah, I'm going to do a few readings for the collective. And this is going to be a pick a card. And this is about spirit, your highest self, your guru self, your highest self, sending you this message about what are the actions, what is the energy you even need to embody to carry over into stepping into the threshold. And solstice season, no matter what season we're in, we're going into summer season, it presents the opportunity to step into a threshold, a doorway, a hidden mystery where when you emerge on the other side, a great lesson is learned. And so I get, for many of you, many of the people who are connected to me in the collective, you have a great journey to take this summer. Something is waiting for you on the other side. And so we're going to make this card has been sitting at my desk for the last like 2 months. And I personally feel that I'm on a threshold journey. And I wonder if many of you are too. If you're feeling into that, like something new, some new beginning is beginning to take place. Some new journey, some new pathway. So we're going to hold this as the theme of summer solstice. And we're going to put it up here. And let's begin the selection for our piles. I think it's important for us to get the guidance of our highest self because in many ways, oh, that just blew out all the candles. That's kind of interesting. But one is still going. Maybe not for long. One is still lit, but the other two decided to blow out. That's kind of interesting. We'll relight those after we choose the piles. So let's choose the piles for this pick a card. I'm thinking 3, but we'll see what Spirit has to say. Pile number 1. We have Venus Undone. Take a look at that. Pile number 2. Ooh. We have a few cards here, but we're going to just take the one that's on top. Thunder and lightning. That looks interesting. Let me shuffle one more time. Okay. And pile number 3. Pile number 3. Ooh, that's interesting. They landed on the Buddha. But it's a little too many cards, so let's just throw them in. We hear you. There's a huge message for pile number 3, as well as pile number 2. Probably all of the piles. Let's see. Pile number 3, Spirit. Pile number 3. I'm feeling that it's this one. Ooh, moonlight. So take a moment and reflect on these 3 groups If you want gemstones, I can give you some gemstones. I have quite a few right here. So for pile number 1, we have this beautiful pink stone. For pile number 2, this bandit stone. And for pile number 3, this lapis lazuli. I know that one. So take a moment to reflect on which pile you would like. This is 1, 2, and 3. And then I'll put the timestamps below, and I will definitely relight these candles. Take care. Hi, group number 1. You chose Venus Undone. Hopefully that's getting in focus for you. I wanted to bring this card up close so that you could take a moment to look at it. There's a symbolism of a Venus figure sitting on top of the planet Venus with all of her beauty around her, and she's being illuminated. So this is interesting. I think that there's something about your sensuality, about your beauty, that will be illuminated in this new, when you walk on the other side of this threshold. So this reading is really about guidance from your inner guru. And I mean, who better to represent the inner guru than the Buddha sitting on a lotus? Buddha wanted to be part of these readings, so I welcome the Buddha and welcome the Buddha's energy. I also want to say, because I have your oracle cards picked, and we'll get to those in a minute, that this Buddha is has a really interesting mudra. This Buddha's middle fingers are coming together like this, and the rest of the fingers are kind of loose, but these 2 middle fingers are touching, and the 2 index fingers are up. So maybe this mudra in your coming season might be helpful to meditate with. He has it upright, but I'm kind of just showing you at this angle. So that might be a mudra for you. I didn't look up the mudra, but that might be the mudra for you for this season, group number 1, maybe even for all the groups. So if you're attracted to this reading, I believe that you're getting ready to cross into a threshold of some type. Not just a new season, the season of summer, or depending where you're located, could be the season of winter. But, you know, I'm located in the US, and so this will be the season of summer, this solstice. And it's longer days, right? A lot of sun. And really, Venus loves the sun, loves the holding of sensuality and sunlight. There's something very Venus to me about the summer. It's like everybody looks beautiful and glowing, and people are just showing skin, and there's like a lot of sensuality and sexuality happening in the summer, which, you know, many people attribute to Venus. Venus Undone, I'm gonna sit down now. So Venus Undone, it speaks to an opening. Maybe in this threshold, you're walking away from feeling so contained, so in control, and allowing yourself to drop into your sensuality, to release some of the stiffness and become more fluid. When I think of Venus, Venus is like the embodiment of not only love. So some of you may be experiencing love in this new season, but it's also like a deep, intense love of self, like understanding where you're located with your sensuality, maybe turning that on, allowing people to even take pleasure in your sensuality. And that doesn't mean just having sex with you. It means that even when they're just in your company, you know, standing behind you in line at the grocery store, they get to take in your scent. They get to take in the visual of you. They get to take in the sound of your voice. Do you get what I'm saying? Like everyone's senses gets to be engaged with you in this new season. So group number one, I really feel like you're opening up to that. This is a time where you're going to feel sexy. This is a time where you're going to be just aware of all the small things you do to bring a sensual experience, not only to yourself, but to others. And maybe some of you have felt in the past that you had to contain this. I'm kind of getting, or maybe some of you were raised in a certain kind of philosophy or religion that really wanted you to contain this type of expression. But there's something that's breaking free. There's something about your sensuality breaking free and you having liberation through your sensuality on the other side of this threshold. That's what your guide is, your higher self is saying. Your inner guru's like, yes, this is also spirituality. For some of you, you've been taught in a very compartmentalized way that if you're spiritual, you don't behave this way. If you're spiritual, you don't do this and you don't do that. But here, when Venus becomes undone, it's like I get a sense of Venus taking her bra off. You know, I get a sense of Venus taking off all the restrictive clothing and putting on something very flowing, allowing her shape to be seen, allowing her scent to fill the air, allowing the sound that she makes from her mouth, from her body, to be captivating. So Venus undone, what could be on the other side is you in this expression. And if you've never tried it, I'm hearing from Spirit right now, if you've never tried it, give it a try. Give it a try. Your inner guru, let's go to the oracle cards. So we're going to kind of put your Venus undone. Such a beautiful symbolism right here. We're going to put Venus right there. We're going to put your little stone. You've even got this beautiful, like, I forgot which one this is. I think it's a pink ruby, but don't quote me on it. But I'm going to put it right there. So let's go to the oracle cards. Let's lay them out first. So you have channeling. Very nice. Channeling. Then you have maiden. You have orgasm. Oh, yeah. You have vaginal canal. Very interesting, group number one. Oh, goodness. You have the ever unfolding rose. Cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. Ooh, I'm really loving that, you all. Let me see if I can, where I'm going to put that. Well, you know, let's just undo them and then we'll talk about each one of them. The archetype is thief. Very interesting. Shed a light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. Interesting. Look at that thief. They have a heart in their jacket. We're going to come back to that thief. Oh, you got two archetype cards. Okay. And the other archetype card, look at that. It's blank. That's special, group number one. And then we have a cosmic spiritual message of patience. Patience. So let's go here to the light language card, group number one. Channeling. I really do think, like, I used to have an account called Channeling the Moon, and it's still up if you ever want to look at some of the readings that I've done on YouTube. And I think my account on Instagram is still up, Channeling the Moon. And it's just one of those things, like, I contributed to it for a short period of time, and then I kind of moved to Rooted Futures. But channeling, You see that light? It's almost like in a cross. And then underneath it is this like bloom. I do get that some of you in this group are going to be challenging some of the philosophies that you grew up with. You're challenging the idea that what is spiritual can't be sensual. If you follow me on TikTok, there was a channel message I got that your relationship with spirit is not platonic. It's actually very sensual. And I believe, group number one, that you are tapping into that this summer. Some of you will become very sexually liberated this summer. Maybe for some of you, and this is only for a small group, maybe you will engage in sex and sensuality for the very first time this summer. You know, some of you might be a little bit on the younger side, you know, hopefully of age, keep it of age. But, you know, maybe you reached 18 or maybe you're 21, you know. I was a late bloomer, just to let you know. I didn't engage into my sexual life until I was like in my early 20s. But some people, it starts younger, you know. This channeling, it's saying to me that you have the ability, because look at that Venus undone. Venus is sitting on top of the planet, right? It's saying to me that you may even be able this summer to channel that energy from the planet. Like you're going to be that deeply connected to the energies of Venus. So if you're into astrology, you might want to find out just where is Venus located in your chart this whole summer. That might provide you with some clues as to what you want to honor in terms of the sensuality. And when we get into the cycle cards, this is from the deck. What is this deck called? The Sacred Cycles. I want to say that all of my readings are open to all genders. And somehow when we get into Venus, Venus is often thought of as a goddess. It's goddess, divine feminine energy. So if you are embodied in another gender, such as the masculine or non-binary, think of this as your journey to become embodied in the divine feminine, to understand what sensuality looks like from that perspective, what it feels like from that perspective. So the Maiden card, and there's a number 22, the channeling card had number 3 if you're keeping up with the numbers. The Maiden here is interesting because, like I said earlier, I get a sense that a small group of you might be experiencing sex and sensuality this summer for the very first time. And the Maiden is the initiate. The Maiden gets to bloom in the summer. And the Maiden is finding connection in nature through their sensuality. They're finding the bird. If I want to say the bird stands for liberation, maybe freedom. The Maiden is finding its sensuality in the summer. Its sexual experiences, it's opening, it's blooming. There's even little mushrooms here, so maybe some of you will have a plant medicine experience that will even open you up on the sensual level. If you're older and you're well into your sexual experiences, I think you're gonna find a renewal here. It's sad to say, but many people go throughout life with sex being very functional, sex having no pleasure attached to it. And if you're one of those people, group number 1, I think this summer you are going to open up to the sensuality of intimacy. You're going to experience, maybe you'll have a partner that's going to help you open up into these experiences, or maybe you'll just do it yourself in nature, opening up to the sensual part of yourself, learning your own divine sensual language. So much so I want to keep this rated PG-13. Okay, YouTube? But here's the mushrooms again. So maybe some of you, I'm not saying that you should do this, but some of you are going to engage in plant medicine and have a very sensual awakening with that medicine. So much so that you may become your divine sexual partner. You might be that in self-pleasure. And the kind of illumination that happens from that, for some of you, this will be around the full moon. It's gonna awaken you in a very deep way. Maybe for some of you, this starts, you see the cycle here? It goes to a waxing moon and then the full moon. So maybe in these cycles, you start to realize that there's a part of you that you need to reclaim, a part of you that you need to get in touch with again. I'm hearing for a very small few of you, maybe there's been sexual trauma, and I'm really sorry for that. But these two cards in this reading, it's talking about you reclaiming what may have been taken from you, or in a way you've been harmed. And I'm gonna put a trigger warning here because I don't want people to feel triggered by this. But the reality is, in order maybe for your healing to take place, you have to reclaim this energy for yourself in safety, security, and sensuality, group number 1. And for those of you who have a womb, for those of you who the vaginal canal is part of your biology, well, let me say this. Many of us were birthed through a vaginal canal. And if you weren't birthed through a vaginal canal because maybe your mother had a C-section, know that even in a C-section, you were brought through a threshold. This is just the divine threshold. The vaginal part is the literal, vaginal canal in which babies are born from this cosmic reality into the 3D. So this summer, you're going to have a realization that includes, for those of you born with a womb, that includes the journey of the womb. For those of you who don't have a womb, it's about that journey that you came through when you were birthed into this 3D. And that can be for everyone. I didn't mean to make the distinction. I mean, you can have a womb or not a womb, but this is all talking about that experience, right? Of coming from the cosmos into a 3D reality, into a body of all shapes, of all forms. There's something in this experience that's going to happen for you, group number 1, in the summer, that is going to bring you to that cosmic realization. Maybe for some of you, a rebirth, a deep realization of your origins, of the pleasure of your origins, that your origins most likely, not everybody, came with pleasure. And there's that ability, even if your origins didn't happen with pleasure, you can reclaim that. If pleasure was taken from you around your sexuality or sensuality, you can reclaim that this summer. And I'm getting here that it may just be with you in spirit, not with other people. I am not seeing a partner in this. In fact, I'm getting clear from your inner guru that this is a journey that you will take with you in spirit. That you in spirit are going to have this sensual embodiment that's going to happen. That doesn't rely on other people. That doesn't rely on someone giving this to you, but you giving this to yourself. Spirit is asking for you, number 25, which equals the number 7, practice patience. Here's what I get with this card in connection to this, is that you want to not rush the sensual, the intimacy. This experience is meant to be taken slow with sacredness and consciousness. And so for some of you, maybe you've been used to pleasuring yourself, but it's been kind of like a quick thing done in shame. What Spirit is reminding you of here is that this experience will come with deep intimacy and sacredness. Wow, this is very steamy, group number 1. It's almost like you're going to have the ultimate self-love experience. The archetype that shows up here, and it's funny because this thief can't take it away. Like, going back to some of you who had negative sexual experiences, negative experiences or negative teachings even around sensuality and sexuality, you know, having your heart be put in a place like contained by someone's own sense of shame. It's like almost like the patriarchy here. It's like, you don't let the thief get away with this. Don't let the thief steal your joy. That's what I'm hearing from your inner guru. Don't let the thief steal your joy. Don't let whoever harmed you in the past be able to close the book on what you can experience in terms of sensuality, sexuality, and even love. Let this experience that happens to you this summer, group number 1, create a brand new archetype, one that is specially for you, one that includes the uniqueness and beauty of you. This is why this blank, I don't know where blind came from, so that's an interesting word, but this blank card came up because you get to create the light attributes. You get to write about, for many of you, this could be a journaling. You create the archetype and you describe what that light attribute was for you when you experienced this beautiful experience, and then talk about the shadow that you healed from this. Wow, group number 1, this is a beautiful experience. And only confirmed again, look at that, by the ever unfolding rose. It's like you're going to blossom. Group number 1, you're gonna unfold. Everything, if you look in the very deep background of this card, there's kind of like this church window. So for some of you, if religion is at the core of you feeling challenged, it's like you're going to bloom. You're going to release that institutional thought pattern and allow yourself to come into full bloom. You're going to be cracked open, as it says. You're going to understand that any past experiences couldn't keep you locked up. In fact, they are the catalyst for you in your new healing, in your new awakening, to open up to supreme experiences of the divine. Again, I don't get that this is with another person, you all. I get that it is strictly for yourself. You're going to experience this beautiful, beautiful experience. Wow. We haven't even gotten to the tarot cards yet, but I want to see if your inner guru is saying anything else. For some of you, you know, the guru is saying so much shame, so much guilt has been placed upon you in terms of your sexuality. For some of you, so much even hatred and hostility, especially if you come from the rainbow community. So much has to be undone so that you can live in your pleasure, so you can live in having the right to pleasure. That's what I'm hearing. You get to have the right to pleasure without judgment, without shame. It's very powerful, group number 1. Let's get to the tarot cards. I'm going to shuffle. Over here, I'm kind of learning that the candles do not like the shuffling. Woo-hoo. Let me shuffle one more time for group number 1. Group number 1. This threshold you're crossing into, group number 1, it's deep. And you may want to, I'm hearing from Spirit, you may just want to set the intention, the time aside to do this healing, if you feel strong enough. But I'm hearing really from Spirit that this is for you, by you. This is not someone else facilitating this experience. It's you and Spirit. Some of you may have never have pleasured yourself before. And I'm getting from Spirit, surrender. Maybe there's books out there that you can read about how to pleasure yourself. There's definitely books out there. There's a book that I have. I'm a therapist, so I have a lot of books. I'm going to put the name of the title in the profile. But it talks about self-pleasuring for all bodies, even bodies that are differently abled. This is a beautiful art that you deserve in this, on the other side of this threshold, group number 1. And again, I say that I'm seeing the spectrum of this, right? There's people who are really new to engaging this way with their body, to people who are sexually experienced, but they've just never had this sensual experience with their body on their own, claiming the full power of their sexuality. And that could have been because of religion, that could have been because of family or cultural overlay. So let's go to the tarot. We have the Knight of Wands in reverse. We have the Queen of Pentacles upright. It's an energy, right? It's an energy. Let's see if we can get one more card. I'm kind of already getting that Spirit wants me to emphasize this is not something that you need to spend money on or feel like someone else has to provide it for you. Oh, this is kind of an interesting message. Well, you know, we said PG-13. I don't know. We'll see where YouTube wants to place this reading. But for some of you, maybe you've been buying certain experiences. I'm just going to code it that way. That could have been just online. I'm not saying that but you also could be working, maybe you were interested in working with a sex worker, or, you know, or for some of you, maybe a sex therapist or a sex surrogate. Like there's a difference between sex therapist and sex surrogate. Both and sex worker, they all do divine work around sexuality. But it's saying here that you really could go that way. Like some of you might decide that you want to trust the guidance. You don't have to. They're saying you don't have to, like you could do this on your own. But if some of you want to engage in kind of like a guided experience with someone who is more experienced than you, that may happen. There's a Six of Cups showing up. But I'm really getting that Spirit says that you could do this on your own. But you may want to, I use the word consult, But you may want to consult with someone to get maybe some advice on how you would set this experience up for yourself. They're saying that that's a possibility. You might want to ask someone, hey, I want to have this particular experience with myself. I thought I saw a card flip over, but I don't see it right now. And maybe you want to, oh, there it is. Yeah. I'm getting here that some of you, especially where sensuality and sexuality has been harmful, where literally you've been harmed in these experiences, you're tired of that. You understand that at your core, you deserve to have pleasure and joy in your life. And in reclaiming this for yourself, you get to take back what was stolen from you. That's what I'm hearing. So in this way, engaging with a therapist that specializes in sex therapy could be very beneficial to you. It can help you it can help you process the betrayal of those experiences. Some of you were deeply betrayed. And so group number 1, it can help you bridge everything and process the sensual experience you may end up having with yourself. There are therapists out there that specialize in sex therapy. Now, sex surrogate, they're different from sex therapists. Sex therapists helps you to process your sexual experiences or non-experiences, while the sex surrogate engages with you physically to help you feel comfortable and be able to, in a safe, secure way, have sexual experiences that feel healthy, safe, and secure. And then there's sex workers. Sex workers, depending on their level of knowledge, could do what sex surrogates are doing, but not all sex workers will have that training. So, they're experienced. So, yeah. What I would say is that you have this 8 of coins here. Some of you may want to spend the money to really do the deep healing around your sexuality and sexual experiences and past harms. And they're saying that would be well worth the money. Because these people, you've got 8 of Wands in reverse, they're going to take it slow with you. They're going to help you to become safe and secure in these experiences so that this sensual experience that you may have with yourself or with spirit, both, it will feel safe to you. It's not going to feel ungrounding. Yeah, at the bottom of the deck, we have this Ace of Wands. These are not people who are going to take advantage of you. Like the container, when I say container, it means the environment is set in a particular way that you're very clear on what's going to happen and what's not going to happen. You get to probably work with the sex therapist or sex surrogate to decide what would happen and not happen, what you need guidance around and what you don't. A lot of time will be taken to make sure that you feel empowered, that you can provide the kind of consent. Many of you, I get, group number 1, you're ready for this work. Like you've maybe just been working in therapy for years around reclaiming experiences of harm. And maybe this is your next step to... I'm sorry, my alarm went off, but for some of you in this group, this is your next step in reclaiming your body, reclaiming experiences of sexuality and sensuality. Your next step is to get into therapy that focuses on that. Get into experiences that focus on that. because you understand at your core that you don't deserve to walk around wounded in this area anymore. You want relationships that are healthy. You want a relationship, maybe some of you are married and you just want a relationship with your partner that feels sexually healthy, and you realize that you have to do this work. And I get that some of you have partners that have been very patient with you, very loving and kind, but maybe your sexual experiences have suffered because of past harms you've experienced. But know that this summer, on the other side of this threshold, group number 1, is an awakening, is a deep healing. And that will come from work that you do on your own. That's what I'm hearing. On your own, meaning the physical experience, but that some of you may have the guidance of a sex therapist or a surrogate or a sex worker, however, whatever is available for you and whatever feels right and good to you. Wow, group number 1. This seems like a very beautiful journey that your inner guru, your inner self, your highest self communicated could be on the horizon for you this summer, the threshold that you have crossed. Thank you for letting me in to give this reading. And I hope that it feels nourishing. I hope that it feels hopeful for you, this healing that's on the horizon. I am going to label this particular portion with a trigger warning because we do discuss sexual harm. But it's my hope that you heal from this and begin to understand that we all deserve pleasure. We all deserve sexual, sensual happiness, however that looks. For some of us, it's not a sexual act, but just being able to embody feelings of pleasure is all that we need. However it looks for you, you deserve to have that. Many blessings to you, group number 1. Take care. Hello, group number 2. How are you? Thank you for hearing me out in this unique reading, I hope. It's about the summer solstice. We're tapping into your inner master, your inner guru. What message does your inner master, inner guru have for you in terms of the threshold you could possibly cross into during this summer, the summer solstice? So you chose this card, Thunder and Lightning. Immediately, when I think of thunder and lightning, I think of the African deity Oya, the Yoruba deity Oya. And Oya's got this immense power and intensity. And this thunder and lightning card, it speaks to your power, like sitting and feeling in full alignment with your power. And these, there's flowers around the body, meaning embodying your power, growth through your power, your cosmic power. So on the other side of this threshold is a storm, a good storm, group number 2. I feel it for you. Power. And this power, it feels electric, and at the same time, it's all contained in your body. It's like, whew. And it's interesting because, I picked the Buddha to really be the embodiment of this inner master. And it's like, I didn't notice until now that this Buddha is doing this hand mudra. And this hand mudra has the 2 middle fingers meeting and the index finger straight up. And I don't know what this mudra is for, but this could be very opening for you this summer, group number 2. I'm also getting that this power has to do with you also. It has to also do with your inner peace, your calm, your sense of self and groundedness. So for some of you, it's about using your power in such a way that you can ground in it, like learning how to ground your power, learning how to contain your power in a particular way so that it's useful for you. That it's, and maybe I'm getting, for some of you, maybe it's just about calling back your energy to yourself. On the other side of this threshold is using your power for yourself, not for others, not being dispersed all over with whoever. This power is for you. So group number 2, let's get into your oracle readings. Okay, group number 2, so the oracle readings. Let's start off with Spirit's opening message for you, group number 2. Be still. Can we say it anymore? Being still. Deep. Let's see what the light language message is. Color. There is a lot of color here, group number 2. It's almost giving me like your chakras are aligned, because you know the chakras all have their own particular color. There's this alignment that's happening. You see in this card, I don't know if you all can see it. I'm going to put it up close. There's like this cross, and in the middle there's this heart. It's like this energies are aligned and they're meeting at the heart center, and just poof. It's giving me that thunder and lightning. It's giving me, even in this be still card, you see all this like light, all this like energy moving out from this being. Your sacred cycle cards, you've got passion flower. You've got ovulation. For some of you, passion flower is going to be a beneficial herb for you to help recondition your sexual organs. So look into that. You might want to look into that, and there may be even spiritual meanings for passion flower that have nothing to do with taking it internally. It may have a spiritual properties as well. And that ovulation, this is like allowing for the egg representing your creativity. And this is like whether you're born with a womb or not, you have creative force inside of you. And like there's a way in which this ovulation is speaking to bringing online that creative force, making things possible in your creativity. Wow, this happened with the other group. There's a blank archetype card, and then there is an archetype card. This is a card of possibilities that are unique to you. But you also have the child orphan. It says independence based on learning to go it alone. Conquering fear of surviving. The shadow is feeling abandoned that stifles maturation, seeking inappropriate surrogate families. So very interesting here, group number 2, I'm sorry. So group number 3 might have something for you. But group number 2, inner child. Maybe for some of you, and I kind of got this with the thunder and lightning card too, that you have often been told that you're doing too much, that your power's too much, that you've had to feel like you've had to shrink yourself. If you've had to shrink yourself, if you've had to play small, this, on the other side of this threshold, is the ability for you to show up in your complete power. So some of you had childhood experiences where you were taught you were doing too much, or that maybe the anxiety of your caregivers or parents meant that you had to shrink, that you had to be small. And on the other side of this threshold is your ability to create your own unique archetype based on liberating yourself from actions of smallness into your full energy, into your full light. We have the card play here. Have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. Again, that child card, children play. And maybe on the other side of this threshold, your higher self is saying, you should engage in joy this summer, engage in play, engage in things that allow your full self, your full power to be seen. There's something that the world needs from you, group number 2, your power, your joy, who you are authentically. The world needs that. That ovulation card is even speaking to like a divine community, helping you to hold the power of your creativity. Some of you may be embarking on a real deep creative experience. Let's get to the tarot. You know, one last thing I'll say about passion flower is that the spiritual properties of passion flower, sorry, I'm like moving my chair in, so sorry if that's making noise. The spiritual properties of passion flower are courage. Having that, it can help with the essence of learning how to heal the past, the courage to heal, the courage to be in your full bloom, the courage to sit with your thunder and your lightning, group number 2. So I think it's important here that it's saying that you have plant allies that you could also rely on. But your biggest ally is going to be the ability to sit still, to meditate, quite literally, to go into meditation, to sit still with your thoughts, to sit still with your body, and get clear on just the truth of who you are. Not to make yourself small, not to quiet yourself, not to subdue yourself, but to be in union with the energy that's yours. I'm hearing even to stop giving your energy away. Some of that is rooted in your childhood, how you were brought up. But you're being directed to really dive into letting your inner child have play, letting your inner child loose and free. Maybe some of you were always put on punishment as a child because you were so, quote unquote, out of control, or you needed a lot of attention. But I'm being told that your child, that inner child, needs to be rewilded, needs freedom, needs a sense of liberation. Let's go to the tarot cards, because we're asking about when you step through this threshold, when you realize this, that your energy is actually a gift in your life. We have 10 of coins here in reverse. We have 10 of wands here in reverse. That's interesting. One more card, and then I'll kind of let you know what I find interesting about that. Wow. And you have the 10 of swords. Wow. I feel like, group number 2, you are on the threshold of realizing the other side of this threshold. By you making that move to go into this next phase of life, you are not only going to be able to turn around your financial life, you're going to enter into a new financial experience. You're also going to be able to turn around how your life works in balance, your work-life balance. You're going to understand where is it that you're letting your energy just flow out without any kind of reciprocity. You're going to balance that. And then you're also going to be able to balance your inner thoughts. You know, like some of you suffer from a lot of ruminating thoughts, a lot of like, should I have done this? You know, a lot of like self-policing because you're holding yourself back all the time. So it's saying to me here that you, by stepping into this practice, I get for many of you, it's meditation. some type of meditation practice. It may not be sitting. It may be walking meditation. It might mean moments of silence with yourself. It might be music that you listen to that helps you, certain sounds that help you. But you're going to be able to emerge with this practice. It's going to take you back to yourself. It's going to help you heal. It's going to take you out of, we have the devil here. It's going to take you out of a lot of like habits that aren't good for you. Maybe some of you watch a lot of TV. Maybe some of you drink. Maybe, you know, some of you do a lot of things to distract yourself. By going inward, I don't want to bring these down. By going inward, group number 2, you're going to be able to put aside those things that are no longer good for you. You're going to come out of feeling like you're alone. We have the Hermit in reverse. You're going to come out of that loneliness, and you're going to start to realize wish fulfillment emotionally. You're going to understand where you actually get your emotional support is from yourself and from others, but you're going to realize some part of you is there for you, you know, to help you understand you. You're going to break free. We have the 8 of Swords in reverse. You're going to break free of any illusions around how you think about yourself, illusions about how you need to act and who you need to be. You're going to break free of all of those like learned, it's like you're going to break free of a self-imposed jail. You know what I mean? Group number 2. And you're going to stop refusing. That 4 of Cups is coming at reverse. You're going to stop refusing what's good for you, which is like the full harnessing of your energy in service of trying to please others. You're going to get rid of that people pleasing. You're going to get rid of false friendships even. And what's going to come in for you at the bottom of the deck is you finally realizing maybe a perfect career. For some of you, you're going to open the doors to prosperity for yourself. And this is not only monetarily, like prosperity in friendships, prosperity in career opportunities, prosperity in like access to your emotions. It's going to be very big. This is huge, group number 2. The healing work that you embark on changes essentially your whole entire life. Just by going within, giving yourself grounding and inner peace, it's going to settle your dust, group number 2. And your inner guru is saying, settle your dust. Accept who you are. See things as they truly are. You are not only this beautiful child of the divine, you deserve to play and have joy and have happiness in your life. And I think for some of you, it's just kind of like you're going to break free, I'm hearing, of depressive moods, you know, like you're gonna break free. You're gonna understand this is not me. Some of you are empathic, like this is not me. This is other people's stuff, other people's anxieties, other people's depression. What I'm here to do is be a light. I'm a loving, vibrant light. And I think some of you are moving out of taking on, I feel like, emotional impressions that people have given you, where you've actually defined it as your own feelings when these are not your feelings. These belong to other people, your parents, caregivers, friends, colleagues. Like your energy has really been a conductor for everybody's emotions, and this new practice that you're developing is going to retrieve your energy. It's going to retrieve your energy for you, for your use, for your best benefit, group number 2. This is powerful. This is the healing that you have in front of you. It's going to literally change your life. It's going to open the doors of opportunity up for you in several sectors of your life. Though all of that, the 10 of Swords, the 10 of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, all of that is availability that's coming towards you. You have, the universe wants to make those gifts available for you and in all those cycles so that you can have a brand new life. Lovely group number 2. I'm really loving this for you. A big part of it is to remember to play, to remember to be in your joy, to remember to be in your energy. So group number 2, this is where I'm going to leave you. If you resonate with this, please comment below. Please like my channel. Maybe even consider following me by pressing that bell so that you get notifications of all of my upcoming readings. But as we go into the summer, I really wish you well, because you have so many powerful gifts waiting on the other side of this threshold for you. So thank you for coming to this reading. Thank you for supporting my channel. Take care. Peace. Hello, group number 3. Thank you for joining me in this pick a card. You picked Moonlight. Look how beautiful that is. You know, right away what I get with this card is that the moon, which has a lot of mystery, right? A lot of things that are part of the unconscious. There's something about this naked body here. It's linking what's unconscious to your authentic self. There's something unconsciously that you are going to discover on the other side of this threshold that is going to open up you in a way that people see your authentic self, that you connect with your authentic self. This lapis lazuli, I always think of lapis lazuli as a throat chakra opener. Like, this might be for some of you about speaking your truth, like speaking your authentic truth. This reading is really about this master guru inside of you, kind of symbolized by the Buddha. And look at this, if you haven't watched other groups, you'll see that there is a way in which this Buddha is doing this mudra with the hands, which I have to research. I'll try to put it down. I'll try to research it and find it. And if I find the meeting, I'll put it in the description box below. But this mudra might be important for this new time, this new season that you're getting into. There's a way in which these mudras, these hand symbols, they send power throughout the body. And you can heal from certain hand mudras. But here's what I want to say. Your inner guru, your inner wisdom is coming forth to let you know that if you proceed during the summer solstice to step through a threshold, meaning symbolically you're going to step into a new life for yourself, like you want something new for yourself. What's on the other side of this threshold? For you, there is an unconscious discovery, group number 3. And it's going to lead to your authentic self. And for some of you, it is most definitely about something that you'll be speaking. Maybe some of you are singers. Maybe some of you are public speakers. Maybe some of you are even writers. I'm kind of hearing like there's voice in writing, right? But there's something about you giving voice to something that lets people authentically connect with you. And it doesn't have to be other people. It can be yourself too. Let's go to the oracle cards, which I picked previously, but we're just going to discover them together. Wow, we have 15, gratitude. I get a sense like Spirit's opening message here. Let's put the moonlight card right over here, so we have room for the cards. I think it comes with an action and an attitude of gratitude. That gratitude is just going to illuminate your path. It's illuminating, it's letting the universe know that in your gratitude for all the blessings that are coming forward for you, I get that some of you have this as a practice already, expressing gratitude. There's something very powerful in doing that. It lets the universe know that you are in alignment with reciprocity, that you give thanks for your blessings, that you recognize that not on your own can you do all this, that you are being guided, and you're very thankful for this. And if you haven't settled into like an intentional practice of gratitude, know that you could just do that every day. Some people name 20 things that they're grateful for every morning, or 100 things they're grateful for every day. Or they just express gratitude to others, like for their help, their assistance, their support, just their being in your life, you know. So gratitude can be expressed in a number of ways. But I have a feeling that that's somehow really important when it comes to this next era in your life. Like somehow giving back, I'm even hearing. So the sacred cycle cards, we have the uterus and we have Mexican sunflower. Look at that Mexican sunflower. Look at that energy coming out of the mouth of this being, and how that energy coming out of the mouth of the being is hitting the butterfly and the flower. And it's like transformation is happening through either the breath, transformation is happening through the speaking voice, but there's transformation taking place and growth taking place. It's interesting because growth is also the theme of the uterus. Like these cards apply regardless of your gender, regardless of how you're showing up in the world. This uterus energy is about it's kind of like the cup of the womb. It's like what's holding us in this cycle, what's nurturing us. The uterus nurtures, provides sustenance and nutrients for the fetus. So there's something, group number 3, that you're getting ready to birth, right? Something that's going to reveal your authentic self. And it's being held protectively in the uterus. Like it's being held symbolically by you, protected by you, maybe even in your body. So this might be for some of you somatic. Like this is maybe a somatic motion or movement that you're going to take that's going to release your voice. Some somatic experience. Look at that. The light language oracle comes up with nourishment. So there's something here, group number 3, maybe a detox I'm hearing for some of you. This also could be like listening to something that's very nourishing, that's going to unlock you. Something that's going to help you heal. I'm hearing group number 3, that's going to literally heal that throat chakra. It's going to like open it up. We have here Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. And then you got 2 cards here from this oracle. Share your voice. Wow. Group number 3, share your voice. Come out of the cave. Persecution and expression. So here's what it is. Here's what I'm getting, group number 3. There is creating this heaven on earth. I get for some of you that you've been waiting. You've been waiting to be the star that you are. You've been waiting for something. I'm really getting an energy of like you're waiting for all the conditions to be right for you to share your gifts. And Spirit is showing you that the time is now. Like Spirit doesn't even operate in time. So whenever I get the message from my guides, when they say the time is now, it means quite literally you need to be sharing what it is that you came here to share. I'm even getting right now too with this Nourish card that your voice, something you're speaking, something you're singing, something you're sharing with people in writing, it's going to provide the nourishment, the wellness for people in your community, maybe in your family, maybe people in general, the world. Some of you have a brilliant gift that you're sitting on. And Spirit is saying the time is now. Release it, release it, release it. And that Mexican sunflower, maybe this is a plant medicine that you want to investigate here in terms of transformation. But what I'm sensing here, look at this, group number 3. You have this world, this beautiful world. It almost looks like, you know, there's pyramids here, right? And there's this beautiful ocean. So that ocean, that water is talking about your emotional life. And it's kind of like you've been shielding yourself from this world on the outside of this cave. You've been sitting there, you've been wondering and contemplating, what would your life be like if you shared your gifts, if you shared your thoughts, if you shared your voice? It would open up a brand new world for you. But you've kind of got to get over that rocky water, those some emotional thought that keeps you tied to not sharing your gifts. Some thought that thinks that you need to wait to be perfect, when actually heaven is on earth. Heaven is right now, group number 3. And look at the archetype that shows up for you, networker. Enhances the unity through sharing information. Look at that, group number 3. It's like you have something brilliant to share. Something that you're sitting on, something that you're thinking, oh no, I don't think anybody wants to hear this, or oh no, I'm not sure if my voice is the one that people want to hear, but they actually do. This is going to create social awareness. This is going to help people drop into deeper empathy. You have a healing to offer, group number 3. A beautiful healing to offer. Let me shuffle. It's time for the tarot. Yeah, and I don't know if it's because... I don't know why you're sitting on this gift, group number 3. Maybe you already know. I think I hear something like you want things to be perfect. You want, maybe some of you have already written something, but you're editing it over and over again. You don't want to take the risk. But Spirit keeps saying the time is now. Whenever the Spirit says that, even to me, the time is now, that means I've been waiting. I've been waiting maybe even too long. But I want to know here, maybe we can ask, like, why are you not sharing your voice right now? Can you guide us, Spirit? Let us know, why is group number 3 so hesitant? Maybe you know already. Oh, that almost came out, but it wanted to go back in. Maybe you know already. Wow. Queen of Cups energy. Look at that. It's definitely emotional. There's some kind of emotional healing that you need to do, because there's a cup here for you, group number 3. And I think when I see this card, it's kind of like the figure here is praying over their emotions. They're praying. They're wanting to be released from some emotional prison. There's something sacred about your emotions too. Whatever it is that you need to heal emotionally, don't take it as something very light. It's actually a very sacred act that you're in. I don't know, I'm getting some download here about it being very sacred, this healing that you have to, that's taking place for you. Maybe some kind of sacred ritual, sacred ceremony. Yeah. The action is Wands, which is the Knight of Wands. It's like now, group number 3. Some of you might, I'm hearing this, some of you might be invited to a ceremony or a ritual for the summer solstice, and you need to go. It's going to heal you. Look at this. You've got the Chariot. You've got the car ready. Group number 3, look, the car is ready. Whatever this ritual is, ceremony, summer solstice, get in the car, group number 3. You need to go. Make the choice to go. Something is waiting for you in that ceremony. It's going to open up. It's going to serve as a catalyst. That's what I'm hearing. It's going to serve as a catalyst for a new you. It's going to give you the bravery maybe that you've been looking for, the courage that you've been looking for. Because I don't get a sense that you need to avoid this problem anymore or feel like you're not ready. There's like a whole new world here. Look at that, 3 of Wands. There's a whole new world that you can take with this action, to share your gifts, to share your thoughts. And not to fight yourself, not to keep, I don't know, I kind of get that you all fight yourself a lot. Like there's an inner critic that's really strong inside of you that would benefit from you just, there's this death card in reverse, but I really feel like it wants to be upright, because deep change, that's what's going to be the catalyst for you to realize this gift. And it's a gift quite literally that everybody needs. It's not a gift only for you. Like you are the holder of this gift. I'm getting group number 3 with your voice. But that gift is for the world. It's like you need to share it. You need to get like shared with us all so that we can get the wisdom of that gift. No pressure. But literally, group number 3, you have something that people need that's going to inspire people. It's going to give people, I keep hearing, it's going to help people understand their life. It's going to break and it's going to break people out of their own stagnancy. Like your story, your gift, your contact with this gift is going to help. Now, we have the Hanged Man in reverse. Again, it's saying don't wait any longer. Whatever it is that whatever gifts you have to share, share them. It's going to bring, look at this, group number 3. It's going to bring you deep prosperity. It's going to open up a new cycle of, you're going to make money with this gift. People want to hear what you have to say. People are literally going to heal from what you have to say. Yes, literally they're going to heal from what you have to say. And maybe some of you feel like you just can't, you don't, for some reason I'm feeling like you don't trust this gift. So maybe some of you are channelers, maybe some of you are psychics, maybe you're seeing things, like the things that you're seeing need to be spoken to, but you're worried about being perceived as someone who doesn't know what they're talking about. And I'm hearing like you exactly know what you're talking about. Like you are gifted, group number 3, highly gifted. So that's what your inner guru is saying. Release the doubt, and know that what you have to offer the world, you need to come out of your cave to do it. You need to work past these emotional blocks and share. Because this energy that you have, this authentic self, it's like it's needed by not only you, but everyone. So group number 3, this is where I'm going to leave you. Thanks so much if you made it this far in this reading, for watching. And, you know, follow this channel that I'm creating. Like this, leave a comment below if this resonates, and I will see you in other readings. Take care. I appreciate you.